Okay, let's see if that gives me volume. Hey, Ruth Ann. Hi, Ruth Ann Spears. Okay, let's see if that gives me volume. Number 6. Hey, Ruth Ann. Okay, I'm going to turn that other phone down so I don't have so much echo. So I will not be on camera tonight. That should be a hint. I look a mess, but that's okay. I can still be efficient in my mess. So, welcome to tonight's segment. It is called Hauls and Dumps. And we won't be here long, but the idea behind it is to go over some of the items we may have caught on sale this week or some of the things that we've purchased, and also for us to line up and determine what items we are going to donate, take to the Goodwill, or give away. The idea is to always take out if we bring in so that we don't end up with a tremendous amount of clutter. Why is not so much an aesthetic thing, which I mean, it is aesthetic as well, but it's also a mental health thing. Our minds are able to work more fluidly and less stressfully in clean, calm environments. And so it is important that we curtail or at least mitigate against our homes and our living spaces becoming overcluttered. Hey, Alfreda. So very quickly, what you see on the screen are items that I got this week to continue making holiday wreaths, fall wreaths, um, Halloween wreaths, Christmas wreaths, and Kwanzaa wreaths. So I've been working on all kinds of wreaths. Last night I made a really, really nice one. I can't wait to share it with you guys. But I want to do a reveal when I take it to the person who ordered it because I know she's gonna act a fool. I know she's gonna go crazy when she sees it. So very quickly, I just want to describe some of the items you see in the box. Tell you what I have in mind for them. Like this guy, for instance, will be in the center of a wreath. I've already done a couple of wreaths with with these, and so that will also be a centerpiece on a wreath. Um, these mushrooms and these wooden signs I picked up at Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint them and make them into craft items. And in a few minutes later on in the show, I will tell you all about my tea blends. I just made a fresh batch of fall teas, and they are delicious. They are made from like whole dried botanicals, and I take them and blend them myself into different tea formulas depending on what it is I'm trying to treat. And so, for instance, if I make a formula with white willow bark, which is nature's aspirin, that is to treat like inflammation and aches and pains and stuff like that. I'm not giving out medicine or medical advice. These are just some of the things that are known to be treated with white willow bark. And you can Google these things for yourself. In holistic medicine, it tells you all about white willow bark. And so I've got some of that. I've got some holy basil, some tulsi. I've got some cinnamon chips, cinnamon bark chips. So if anybody's interested in tea, just write tea in the chat and I will send you a copy of that, which is the tea card with all of the ingredients and telling you what it is that each one treats. It's the Hello Autumn collection. Can you guys believe that we are just days away from autumn? Autumn is like literally in what, like 3 days, 3 or 4 days? Like, where has this year gone? It's gone by so fast. So before we get started, I always like to try to set the vibe. Welcome to it, Miss Trina TV. Right now, what am I diffusing? I am diffusing rose geranium in my essential oils diffuser. What's in my cup? Actually I am actually drinking some Jose mixed with some slow gin and some orange mango juice. So I've got a little jacked up margarita going on. With salt always for me. On the rocks always for me. Some people, I don't know how people drink frozen margaritas and stuff. If that top of my mouth gets too cold, it's game over. I don't want any more. I hate a brain freeze. But you also see in the box some jewels, and I have been looking for jewels everywhere. That right here is a jewel, and they make really, really pretty wreath decor. And so I am going to have some luxury over the top Christmas and Thanksgiving wreaths available very soon on my new website. If you guys remember, or if you were able to get in on my lives earlier this week, I just purchased a new web address. And so I've got a new home online. It is Dear Duchess. And I want it to kind of be like Dear Abby used to be. I want people to be able to come on, ask questions, or send me an inbox or a DM with questions. And if you want to be anonymous, I can take your name out of it and keep it anonymous, but just give you a response as far as what my thoughts are on your situation. Not saying that I'm, a professional counselor or anything like that, but I am a mother, I am a woman, and I have been married for 30 years. And so I should have sense enough to give some kind of advice, right? Say word. Okay, so I want all of you to leave me an email address so I can add you to my mailing list, right? And we have a lot of games and perks built into the show. So I've got some things written down, and if anybody says those magic words tonight, they are going to win 3 boxes of foot detox pads or a fall centerpiece, a 12-inch fall centerpiece. Both gifts are really nice and are valued at about $35. So just say the right words, or if you say something that I think is close enough to the right words, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna show it to you on the screen where I've already written it down previously, and you will win. Other than that, what will I be dumping out or getting rid of this week? I've got a lot of clothes that I can no longer fit, right? So I've lost some weight, and many of my larger sizes are poor fitting, ill fitting. Things that I paid a lot of money for, I will probably do alterations on and try to take them in since I do know how to sew. I have a sewing machine, and anything I can't figure out, I'll call my mother or send to my mother, and she definitely can fix it because that is what she is, a professional seamstress. The items that I did not pay a lot for, I will likely box up this week and take to one of the women's shelters here in town. I have sizes ranging from a 20 all the way down to a 16. So you know I can't beat all of those sizes. So the ones on the higher ends, the 20s and the 18s, I have been going through. I actually have 3 bags upstairs in the living room full of clothes, and they span all seasons. I try to hang on to my winter items because I don't have very many winter clothes. With us living in South Alabama, where we have very mild winters, or at least we did for the first 20 years that I was here, the last 3 or 4 years have been a bit different. We actually got snow, and it has actually been cold for real. But I still don't have very many winter clothes. So I do kind of hang on to my sweaters and my jackets because they are few and far between. But as far as like little rompers and summer sets, I've got way too many. My closet is like exploding, and it is so not good to be overcluttered. And that's the predicament that I am in upstairs in my master bedroom closet. So unfortunately, when I went to Italy, hey Mina, what's up, me? Unfortunately, when I went to Italy about um, maybe 6 weeks ago now, it was the first weekend in August. I had ordered some clothes and they did not get here in time for the trip. So by the time I got back from Italy, my clothes were here, but that was a bust. So I do have some new items that I need to make room for. And I learned a brutal lesson when I went to Indonesia for my friend Rebecca's 50th birthday party in Bali, her Jubu Valley. When I got there, my luggage didn't arrive. And so for the whole 10 days, I had no luggage. And I was so disappointed because I purchased my ticket with Delta Airline, who was partnered with Air France. And so I knew that I would be dealing with those two airlines. And I left from Atlanta. My uncle Mustafa took me to the airport in Atlanta, and I flew into Ireland, Edinburgh, no, Scotland. I flew into Edinburgh, Scotland. And when I got off the plane and I powered my phone off up, when I powered it up, my phone had been off. I thought my phone had been charging the entire time I was on the flight. It was like an 11-hour flight. And it was not charging because for whatever reason, I forgot that European plugs and outlets and stuff are a bit different. So when I got off the plane in Edinburgh, Scotland, I powered up the phone. I had all these text messages coming in from my brother. So I'm sitting there trying to like go through the messages. One of them was like a crisis. And so I called him. And in no time at all, my phone was like almost dead. Like my battery was low, 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 low. And so I'm like, okay, I got to get to a charger because I made the second lethal mistake on that trip. It was not having a printed boarding pass. I normally always print out a hard copy of my travel documents. And so this time I just had my boarding passes on my Apple Wallet, like in my phone. So I was in a jam. The phone was about to die. My boarding pass was on the phone. So when I went to the little sitting area in the airport in Edinburgh to try to charge my phone to make sure it didn't die before I could go to the gate and scan my boarding pass. That's when it dawned on me. I did not bring my outlet converter. You have to have an outlet converter that you can plug your US plug into, and then it will make it so that you can plug into the sockets in Europe because their sockets look completely different from ours. And I wish I had thought about it. I didn't realize I was going to talk about this during the live because I could have brought my converter down here for you guys to see. But in any event, when I went to sit down to charge my phone, I looked at the wall and I said, "Oh my God, I can't plug into these European outlets." And so that's when I became frantic. And um, there was a little girl sitting there, a little white girl. She was just, I guess, quietly acting like she was on her phone, but she was paying attention to me. And she turned to me and she said, "Let me help you." And I said, "My name's Trina. What's your name?" And she said, "Natalie." And I said, "Where are you from, Natalie?" And she said she was from the Ukraine. And so I said, "I'm so sorry that there's war in your country." And she said, "Yeah." She said, "Me too. My father was killed about a week ago, and two of his brothers." She said, "So I am on the way to get my grandmother so that she can see her last living son before he leaves because he has also been called to fight." And so I was just like kind of riveted by that. And I said to her, um, "I have no way of charging my phone. It's about to die." And well, of course, I said I was sorry about her situation first, but I told her that I was in a bind. I had no way of charging my phone. It was about to die. My boarding passes was on my phone, and I was like starting to panic, like literally almost in tears. And she was like, "Come with me." And so she took me to the gift shop. It didn't dawn on me that it might be a gift shop in this little teeny airport. She took me to the gift shop and I was able to purchase a converter in there and paid like $31 for that converter. But it was a good one because it had multiple different conversion tips on it. Like I could use it in Italy, I could use it in the UK, I could use it in France, I could use it in Holland and the Netherlands because different countries have different outlets and different conversions. I think most of their power is on like a 220, if I'm saying it correctly. And in the United States, ours is on a 110. And so we have to use that converter not just to be able to plug into their outlets, but to tamp down the power of the electricity that's coming into our devices because it will fry our devices. I can remember when Dottie and Janine and me were living in the south of France. Well, yeah, we were in the south of France. We were in Cap d'Agde, which is the very last town. Cap d'Agde is French for garlic cape, and it was on the Côte d'Azur, which is the basically the blue coast of the Mediterranean Sea. But we were students in Monaco at the University of Southern Europe, and we had some American curling irons that we had taken with us, like for our hair. And when we would plug them into that European power in our apartment, those curling irons would get so doggone hot, like you had to be careful not to like fry your hair off. I wonder if Dottie and Janine remembers that. It was the craziest thing because we really didn't know, that that was going to be the case when we got there. We had to learn very quickly to turn it on low because even on low, it was going to get really, really hot and we had to curl our hair really fast. and like unplug it to keep from melting them. That was fun. So I found a picture of Natalie and me in the Edinburgh airport. I'm gonna try to put it where you guys can see it. Can you guys see that? I'm not camera ready tonight, so I won't be sticking my head around there in that camera. But I'm gonna try to line it up in a second. I'm not to like right now, but what you've done is you mean for I won't be sticking my head around in that camera. Yeah, that's me and Natalie. I'm to like right now, what you've done is you mean for be sticking my head around in that. Okay, so I'm gonna turn that off because I'm getting feedback. But that little girl in that picture literally saved my life. I was literally having a nervous breakdown in that airport. I've never really missed a flight in Europe, and I missed that flight because I could not charge my phone back up in time to go to the turnbuckles. And the way the airport was set up in Edinburgh, right? It wasn't like you could go to the desk and just tell the ticket agent to print you a boarding pass. They did not have an Air France desk. They just had a kiosk. And in order to get started on that kiosk, you had to scan your boarding pass or your barcode that they sent you in the email. And I couldn't do either because I couldn't get in my phone. And so I went to this red desk and I said to the people at the red desk, is there any way that you can help me reach Air France? I need a copy of my boarding pass because I can't get into my phone. And those people at that red desk in Edinburgh, which is supposed to be the help desk, they were so mean and surly. Two ladies, two, I guess, Scottish women, them heifers were mean. I mean, literally, they were the reason that I ended up almost in tears because they were just like, get away from here, basically, like you're on your own. And I wanted to like hit somebody in the head with something, but I definitely didn't want to go to jail in Scotland, so I had to eat that. But I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But they were so mean to me and nasty. So I missed my flight and the panic kind of set in a little bit. And so I had to um, just give Natalie my phone, and she found me a flight from Edinburgh to Amsterdam to try to catch my connecting flight to Indonesia. And so I ended up paying like $400 or something just to buy a whole new ticket while I was there in Edinburgh, right? So I get on the flight, my phone's charged. Oh, this is what I was going to tell y'all. In the airport over there, not only can you not go to the desk and ask somebody to reprint your boarding pass, when you're trying to go back there to the gate, you know how in the United States they have a person and you go up there and you hand him your passport and, or your travel, identification, and um, he'll let you, go through to the gates. No, over there, you just scan your boarding pass like you are in New York at like the turnstiles going into the subway. And so when you scan your boarding pass, it will allow one person in at a time. And it's set up almost like an amusement park. Like if you're at Kennywood, you know how the turnbuckles and stuff will only allow one person in at a time. It's set up like that. So it's not like somebody else can scan their pass and let you through. Like when you scan the pass, it literally opens up wide enough for one person to go through and then it closes. One person go through and then it closes. So once I finally got my phone powered up, Natalie helped me to buy the converter. She purchased me another ticket. I just handed her a credit card and just sat there, honey, and just was so told her I was tore up as fine as cat hair. I was torn up. And so she purchased the ticket. So I was able to scan it at the turnbuckle and get to the gate. And before long, I was en route to Amsterdam. Well, when I got there, it was only like 20 minutes between the time my flight landed and my connecting flight to Bali was taking off. And so by the time I got over there to the gate for the Bali flight, they said it was too late for them to let me board and that they had closed down that flight like just minutes earlier. So I was just like, oh my God, I'm about to have to like stay the night in the airport or go out into Amsterdam and buy me a hotel room. So I didn't really want to go into the city because I knew that I was going to have to pay for a cab. I was going to have to try to like go downstairs, find my luggage, which they will have pulled off the flight if I didn't make the flight. and I was gonna have to kind of like wrestle around on my own. I was traveling by myself. Um, to sit down in the airport and find a hotel room and then try to get an Uber or a taxi to the hotel room. And so I just didn't want to do all of that. And so it was a group of Africans who had also missed their connecting flight. They weren't going to Indonesia. I don't know where they were going to be honest, but they had also missed their flight and they were going to have to stay overnight because their connecting flight got them there too close for them to make the connection like mine. So, and they may have actually been on the flight with me from Edinburgh. I don't know. I just know that we all ended up like sleeping in the food court area overnight. And so I was most miserable because first of all, I didn't go to sleep because, I'm a night owl and it wasn't really much to me to be, up all night. I did try to lay down a little bit because I was jet lagged from the first 11-hour flight to Edinburgh. And then the news I got from my brother floored me, kind of wiped me out because I had already told him some stuff was popping off. And when I got to Edinburgh and powered up the phone and he said, "Oh my God, I don't know how you know it, but it popped off." It kind of floored me. And so then I missed my flight, so I was a little flustered. So I did lay down, although I did not go to sleep. I just was trying to like rest myself a little bit. But I was very alert. Like if anybody had tried me, it was up. So while I'm there, I just happened to like roll over and look around, and oh my God, it was mice running around over there, like by the concession stand area, like where you go pay for your food. And we were like right across in the park where like the benches and the booths and stuff were. We were all kind of like stretched out on the booths and stuff at the airport. OMG, those mice almost sent me out of my mind because I hate a mouse. So, trying to figure out how to spell Schiphol Airport. It's Schipol, I believe, right? How do you spell Schiphol Airport, the airport in Amsterdam? I can't think of it right now. And I can't, can I Google it? Let me try to Google it. In any event, I started seeing mice, so you knew I wasn't going to sleep then at all. I was like, oh my God. Um, so it was a miserable first night. So when I finally got myself together the next morning, I went in the bathroom to wash my face, brush my teeth, use the bathroom and everything. And so the African lady, she was like the matriarch of the group. It was a big group of them. It was like 12 of them that was in that food court with me, kind of. So men and women. So she was in there too. So she asked me if she could have some of my makeup, my foundation. She had one of those pink sponges like our grandmothers used to have that you like dab your face with, the ones I love, that keep your face from looking so shiny and greasy. I love them. But she had one and hers had it had some mileage on it. It was well used. And so she asked me if I could pour some of my liquid foundation on there. I guess she liked my foundation the way it looked. Okay, Skippo is Schipol. So let me try to look for my pictures from Skippo. Um, that lady liked my foundation. I had some MAC foundation on that particular day. Phol. And so I put some on her sponge for her. Oh, she was so happy. She was a person who loved makeup too. That makeup, she slept in that makeup and it didn't come off. She must not have let her face touch nothing. But when I put some of my MAC liquid foundation on her sponge, she was on cloud 10. I kind of put a little bit too much. She's like, yes. She started patting her face. She saw that the color matched up real good for her. She was in her glory. Like I had hooked her up. She was gonna be dabbing on that little MAC spot of liquid foundation I put in that sponge for a few many days, and I knew it. It just tickled me about to death. So after I came out the bathroom and everything, and I felt better. I got myself together. I'm like, okay, game face on. You are by yourself. You are in the Netherlands. You're trying to get to Indonesia. Get it together, Duffy. Let's go. So I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing here? So first thing I did was went and found out what time the KLM ticket desk was going to open. So they told me it would be open in about another 40 minutes. That some of their clerks and stuff would be up there. So I knew I needed to see them because I had to rebook my flight to Indonesia. I needed to, be reticketed or whatever. So I look to my right and I see a blue glowing sign that says KLM Delta Lounge. And I'm like, oh my God, I know good. Well, they don't have a nice airport lounge that I could have been in all night while I was over there in that food court with all the mice running around. I literally took pictures of it all. Okay, so I'm gonna try to put my phone up to my other screen, and you guys are gonna be like, "OMGW, that is hilarious." I um I could have been in a real cushy bougie lounge the whole night, and I was over there with them actors in the food court, girl, with the mice running around. But I did go ahead in the lounge once it dawned on me that that's where I could have been in a real bed and taking a nice shower and everything. I went to the lounge, so I'm going to put my camera in front of the other camera and just show you guys some video from the night that I was in there with all the Africans in the food court in Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. The city is Amsterdam. Holland is the state basically, and I'm gonna show you guys where I should have been, which was in that bougie luxury lounge, the VIP lounge for international guests who were flying in, in my classic category, basically. Here we are. This is a shot of the food court. All of them people laying down are those African folks who I was talking about. And I don't know if you could see it. I hope you could see this. Let me check my other camera. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna line it up for you in a second. Like, Mariah, you're here all the way to Daddy and Janine. I'm trying to let it catch up. So this was a video that I shot while I was out there in that food court that night. And we were laid out in that food court. And over there, back there in the distance, it was mice running around. You see the mice? Do you see the mice? It's mice running around in this video. I don't know if y'all seen them. You see them? I was about to have a heart attack. Mice. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. So those were the people sleeping. And then this is where I should have been in the bougie lounge having breakfast, English breakfast, and it was delicious. I had a croissant, I had a hard boiled egg, I had some roast beef, some cheese, and looked like a piece of pastrami, and I had some fresh fruit, some pineapple in that cup. And the artwork in there was just beautiful. That was the artwork. This was where I was sitting eating when I finally made it to the lounge where I was supposed to be all throughout the night, like somebody with some sense. That's inside the lounge as well, where you could sit and eat. And it was free alcohol in the lounge, free food in the lounge. That was my ticket. That was inside the lounge. They had all these different little areas where you could just sit and enjoy yourself. And like a fool, I'm out there with the mice running around all night. I should have been in here in the VIP lounge. Delicious food, all you can eat, all you could drink. Serve yourself, help yourself. Everything was buffet style. I paid for a shower. I forget how much let me see if I'm talking. I'm gonna stop talking to see if the video's talking. Let's see. Let's see if I can turn it up. On tap. They had all kind of stuff on tap. Apple juice on tap, beer on tap, wine on tap. They had a tap bar where you could get whatever you drink and basically on tap. The thing that's over here is on the other side as well. Sorry. No, you're fine. These are cute. Do you work here? They're cute. Yeah, they had cute little cubby holes where you could like put your laptop and your work. You could be working remotely while you waited for your next flight. There were signboards on there, like with flight information, like if there was a change to your gate, anything affecting your flight, you didn't have to come outside of the lounge to see, what was going on. They had boards in there, just like the ones that are in the hallway. But yeah, I was in there throwing down once I finally got to where I was supposed to be. This was when I rented me a shower, and it was so nice. With the QR code that they sent to your phone. Yeah, once you pay for your shower. The shaving kit, the shower kit, and comb in here. They send you a QR code to your phone. And the mirror. And some hooks to hang your stuff on. They tell you which door to go scan the code on. And they unlock the shower door. It's all clean and nice in there. And you get like 20 minutes in the shower. And I think it was like $15 for a 20-minute shower. But I'm in the lounge now. I feel so much better. I done got me a good bath. I got them teeth brushed again. And now I'm in there like somebody with some sense instead of over there with them doggone mice running around. So I'm just scrolling through pictures of my time at the lounge. I finally apparently boarded the flight. From here, I went to Kuala Lumpur, which is in Malaysia. Oh, this is on the way back to that's me and Veronica. On the way back, I flew back with my friend Veronica, who I actually met up with in Bali. So I am 2 minutes out from the end of my show. Remember, this segment is supposed to just be 45 minutes. Um, yeah, Mina, there is something I cannot do. I cannot whistle. I cannot whistle. We were not permitted to whistle as children. My mother said, ladies don't whistle. And so I never learned to whistle as a child. And then as an adult, I tried to teach myself to whistle because I used to work at South Congregational Church. And there was a gentleman there named Mr. Charlie who used to work on the maintenance crew. And he was one of the custodians. And he could whistle so beautifully. And I wanted to whistle. And so I tried to teach myself how to whistle. It won't be happening in this lifetime. I cannot whistle and I cannot snap my fingers on my right hand. I can only snap my fingers on my left hand. So, yes, there are some things I cannot do. Those are the only two I know of. But I've tried and I cannot succeed. Thank you guys so much for visiting with me. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. I want to try to get the algorithm back working in my favor. Make sure that if you haven't already put it on your calendar, just jot your calendar and I'll send out reminders that every Tuesday night I'll be doing my wine and craft where we'll be doing some kind of handicraft and we'll be sipping on some wine or something in our cups. And then on Thursdays, I'm going to stop in just for 30 minutes to check on my strong friend. And then on Saturdays, we'll have this segment, the haul and dump, where I'll go over the items that I bought for the week, what I plan on doing with them, and the items that I am sending to the Goodwill or to the women's shelter or to place them online. There are online groups right now that encourage people to buy nothing and to just barter with their neighbors or to just list things that you will give away for free. And if somebody sees something on the app that you've listed and it's something they want, you just arrange a time for them to come and get it off your porch. And that's it. You've gotten rid of it. And somebody else who can really appreciate it and who was looking for it can now use it. I don't know the name of the app. Maya told me about it the other day. I'll try to put it in the chat below if I can remember to ask her if any of you guys know what app it is I'm talking about. I know my friend Veronica participates in one in Rochester, New York, but the one here in Mobile I think has a different name. Well, that's it for us. It is now 7:45 Central Standard Time, which is my time zone. So that means it's 8:45 your time. I want you guys to be gentle with yourselves this weekend. Take it easy on yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And on Tuesday, join me. Have your bottle ready. Have some craft items ready. If you want to be sent a kit, I can send you a kit. It'll be there in 2 days from Amazon, and you can craft along with me. Make the same thing that I'm making on Tuesday nights. I'll have all of it set up very, very soon on my website, dearduchess.com. And if you'll sign up now, once the website is live, I will send you an email or a link so that you can check out what I've done over there. Thanks you guys so much for joining me. That's all for tonight. Bye bye.